What's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti here, and today I'm going to talk about how not to die in the winter. And one way to die in the winter is to drive this Miata no matter what precautions you take. But what a hell of a way to die. If you see on the back of the Miata, this is not for safety, but more for traction. And I think there's got to be a better way to do this because I feel like the tires are just going to spin around in there. So we may have to drill some holes in the rims. Who knows what's going to end up happening, but we're going to make this thing work. We just have to wait for it to snow. It's not snowing. It's New York. It hasn't snowed since like the one brief little storm in December, and now it's like February. So hopefully we'll get some snow. We'll get to take this thing out and have some fun with it. But other than the snow tires, there's a couple of different ways you can approach winter safety. And a lot of people don't bother. A lot of people just drive around and wonder why they crash in the winter. And especially in like the tri-state area where we get semi-infrequent snow, most people just say, well, wow, I'm not going to waste the money on winter tires. Winter tires are probably the best way to go. Winter tires are also regulated in most other countries that experience cold weather, which is funny because the US experiences cold weather and we don't regulate the same. Winter tires are key. I mean, you don't have to put them on a sports car, you just wouldn't drive it, but you have to have winter tires to drive on the road. For example, in Canada, if your car is registered to whatever province in Canada, and they catch you on the road without having winter tires on during a certain set of months, guess what? You get fined. I don't know if you get pulled off the road or not, but you definitely get fined. Why? Because it's a safety hazard. Now you have become more dangerous. So aside from winter tires, you can take it a step up. You can get some snow chains as well. And I don't know, this is where you guys can come in, whether chains or studs can substitute for winter tires, but either way, the chains themselves, you can get on Amazon. I mean, those were about 40 bucks. They ranged anywhere from like $30 to $70 per two. So it's not the biggest burden on you if you want to operate your vehicle during the winter months. And if you look over here, Jeff is demonstrating another way of doing it. And now obviously you could tell, why would I be doing this to my NSX? The answer is because you guys voted not to sell it in the last video, or the last NSX video. And now we're dropping some tire studs into it, which, don't go too deep, which will help me grip in the winter. So we're going to stud these tires, and when it snows, we'll take out the NSX to go rescue the Miata when it gets stuck. So these are studs. They come in different sizes, obviously. If you put too short of a stud and too thick of a tire, it'll probably just fall right out. But it's got a little nubber on the end, and it's just a metal extrusion, I don't know what the right word is, but it sticks out of the tire. And if you do them in, obviously, order, you generally align on both the outside, couple inches or 2 inches or 1.5 inches in on each outside of the tire at the minimum, and you surround the tire so you can get traction. Now, you could put studs in the front and the back, but for me, since I only got one bag of studs, we're just going to start with the back. We'll worry about the traction in the back and then worry about the understeer problem that will probably develop from there. So all things to keep in mind. The studs are the cheapest, actually, and the studs are not necessarily legal in all states. They are permitted in New York and New Jersey, which is where this car is now, during the winter months. It depends on the state, but from October through really April. And a lot of other states will permit them if they're rubber studs. Some states, such as Hawaii, don't permit tire studs. Don't know why. But even Texas, as long as you don't damage the highway, permits tire studs. So all things to keep in mind to keep yourself safe in the winter. It's not very expensive. It takes a couple of minutes to do. You should definitely invest in a set of winter tires. Ideally, you'll get winter tires and a second set of rims. This way, it's easier to swap on and off every season. But if you don't want to do that expense, you can always throw studs in the tires, pull them off, or at the very minimum, throw some tire chains on. Now, I've grown up in New York, and I would say virtually everybody. I don't think anyone has done anything other than drive on their standard leased all-season tires that they get with the car. But why would we want to regulate anything that keeps people safe? Stay tuned for this. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. 3 different ways to be safe during the wintertime, and you can get a little close-up on that. That's going to be pretty cool on the studs. Yeah. So that's happening. I mean, if I'm going to keep it, I might as well drive it, right? And if I'm going to drive it, I might as well drive it in the wintertime. And it's just something different, and you guys love different. I'm out. Thanks for making it through the whole video. I appreciate it. If you like what you saw, like below, comment below. Those both help my videos go up in rankings, and that helps me out. So thank you for that. If you don't enjoy it, don't say anything. But since YouTube does its own things in the end here, I have 20 seconds in which to do that. And that's going to stop right now.